one machine, Imper. Those are the craziest race ever seen. Go!
Strategy.
It's high speed. Whoa!
It worked! Pretty dangerous!
So if you're curious, pull your blankets tight, prepare your snacks, and enjoy watching. Ida is a female mouse who has a talent for racing and dreams of participating in the European Grand Prix. Ida has great racing skills and high spirits. It is just that his attitude is quite sloppy. Ida currently lives with her father. Her mother has died and they live in an amusement park. This amusement park was the only relic of his mother. This amusement park is very valuable to them. There Ida also greatly admired Ed, a male rat who is a race legend and has been the defending Grand Prix champion for 4 seasons. His admiration for Ed made his father wonder about his son's taste. His father advised him not to look at racing as a show and make money, because he thinks real racing is an art. His father also advised Ada to behave well, because it was feared that Ada's Cerebon attitude would make them lose customers. It seemed that their playground was on the verge of collapse. Therefore, his father always advised Ada not to play games. Long story short, in the evening, Ada saw her father being visited by 2 debt collectors. It turned out that the father had a very large debt and had been in arrears for a long time. The father promised to pay off his debts within 7 days. When he can't afford it, they'll take over the amusement park. At home, Ada tried to comfort her father. He was a little surprised because he had no idea that his father turned out to have a large debt. She finally understood why the father cared so much about customers, because if they lose customers, then they will have no income. Outside, she was contemplating all her dreams. She eventually gave up her intention to become a Grand Prix contestant and preferred to focus on theme parks. Not long after, he saw a parade plane that wanted to celebrate the grand opening of the Grand Prix event. Ida was accompanied by George and a fortune teller who worked at the amusement park. The 3 of them were enjoying the beautiful night together. In the morning, Ada tried to distribute her theme park brochure at her opening Grand Prix event, which might interest new visitors. In the middle of it, Sin, the host of the event, is also introducing the Champions Grand Prix, starting from the bocal of a Swiss goat. Bocal is the defending champion at number 3, while there was Magnus, a bear who was the defending champion, ranked number 2. Last there was Ed, the legend of the defending champion number 1 for 4 seasons, who had a lot of fans including Ada himself. After that, Ada went to the backstage and accidentally saw his car displayed there. As a fan, of course, it made him very happy and amazed to see the beauty of the car from the idol. But unexpectedly, he actually took out the car and caught by Ed, who was forced Ed had to chase Ada, who was taking away the car.
Who the high octane?
Thank you!
Unfortunately, they had to have a little accident and get a broken arm. Ed can't drive. He also asked Ada not to tell anyone, because if caught he was sick, then he would be disqualified from the Grand Prix. As a form of responsibility, Ada took Ed to his home in the amusement park and to be treated by the fortune teller. Upon examination, Ed turned out to have a pretty severe injury. He can't race for a while, exactly the next few weeks. Which of course Ed was shocked to hear about it because he had to race tomorrow. It was also impossible for him to drive under such circumstances. There, George said that they looked similar. And because of that, Ada immediately had a good idea. If you notice, both Ada and Ed have similar faces. Therefore, Ada offered himself to replace Ed at the Grand Prix later. Of course, Ed rejected that firmly because he did not entrust his career to random people. After all, he also just met Ada. Ada was also the one who had injured her arm like this, so he refused. Then, Ada explained that he wanted to take responsibility in that way. Ada also explained that he had great racing skills, and Ed himself had actually seen it firsthand earlier. Ed also reflected on the matter, which in the end he agreed with the offer. And Ada asked for half the prize if he managed to win the match. Ed agreed. After that, the next morning, the Grand Prix event began and was already attended by many race fans. Ada is here disguised as a big fan of Ed, who managed to win the VIP fan contest. So she had the privilege of being with Ed. Ed also took Ada to the garage of famous racers. There are Buckley, Magnus, Richard, and also Night Raven. This Night Raven is Ed's nemesis. It was just that Ed himself didn't see this Raven as his enemy. Ed didn't seem to care about who his opponent was in the match, even though they had been competing for years. This ED is just focused on the game, unlike Ada, who is so concerned about every Grand Prix game, especially Ed's match. In Ed's dormitory, Ada was taught a lot about Ed, starting from the way of speech, movement, and behavior that is often done Ed. This is done so as not to arouse suspicion. And after a lot of training, Ada was ready to start this first match. There, Enzo, commentator of the event, explained that there will be 4 matches in 4 different countries, and there are 40 participants today. In each race will be eliminated 10 drivers, which means that in the last game, there are only 10 drivers left. These 10 remaining riders will compete in the finals in the City of London, and after that, the game began.
I'm driving in.
One mistake.
Louis is being hounded by a wolf. It's high speed. Lightning! Whoa! What's your... And here comes...
Because of too much confidence, Ada finally faced the truth that the real race was not that easy. Many obstacles and opponents who knock each other out of focus during the game. This eventually made him ranked last, which was rank 30. And this is of course the subject of conversation for many fans. Meanwhile, in Ed's dormitory, Ada was very sad. He feels guilty for Ed for his poor performance. He did not expect the race to be harder than he imagined. There, Ed tried to comfort Ada, so that Ada excited again, because Ada is the only hope that can save his career. Ed left there to make room for Ada to calm down for a moment. After that, Ada went there to meet the other racers. There he greeted many other racers, and some of them looked friendly to him, like Magnus, Richard, Olive, and also Buckley. Ed came and picked Ada up there and took her back to the dormitory. There he scolded Ada for meeting other racers. Ada was confused why Ed didn't seem to get along and couldn't be friendly to his opponent. Ed explained that he didn't need anyone. He was a winner and they were all behind him. So he doesn't need anyone, because it made Ada think that Ed seemed to be an arrogant and lonely figure because he stayed away from anyone. She felt she could do it all by herself. After talking a lot of things, Ada seemed excited again. Moreover, he also gained new inspiration from Buckley. Long story short, the second match soon began. The match was held in the Alvan Mountains, and now Ada is appearing eagerly to be a winner.
Just stay behind the cars in front of you. We'll make a move later. You know what they say? go through the map.
Which, in this match, they have to face obstacles that are quite suspicious. A big Saju ball that tries to disrupt the game. Richard the Lion had to be knocked out by the snowball. While we will also see there are some snowballs that seem to be driven by the remote. The snowball looked strange as it followed the movements of certain contestants, especially Ada. It made Ada think someone was trying to sabotage her. In the first match, Ada also felt that the obstacles he passed seemed unusual. Likewise in this second match. In the last round we will see that Richard is the winner. Unexpectedly, he got past Magnus and Magnus back to being number 2 again. While Ada's position is safe because in the 10th position of 20 participants. And after the match, they were celebrating the event. Ada suspects Nat Raven as the perpetrator of the sabotage. While Ed told Ada to stay calm and do not accuse if he does not have solid evidence, Ada finally had to enjoy his meal with Ed. Although he was offered to join the other contestants, he refused. After that, Ada finally tried to find out who the perpetrator of the sabotage was and tried to follow Revent from behind. On the other hand, the father watched the Grand Prix event and seemed a little suspicious of Ed's style of play. He judged that Ed's fighting style looked similar to his daughter, Ida. And there George accidentally blurts out and tells the truth to his father Ada. It seems that here, Ada did all this without permission from her father. Maybe she didn't want to worry the father. That's why she did this secretly. Back to Ada. He continued that mission to find out about Raven's crimes. Until finally he saw a photo of his father and his late mother. It turns out that Ada's father used to be a Grand Prix champion as well. After his mother died, and his father retired from racing, that was where the point of their lives changed. Ada was caught by Revent, but Raven did not accuse Ada and told Ada to just leave. After that, Revent disappeared. On the other hand, a mysterious figure was devising plans and making potions to sabotage the match. In the middle of his research, he accidentally lit a fire, and there was a small accident. As a result, the fire alarm was lit and provoked a lot of attention. Everyone flocked to the source of the fire, which turned out to be Magnus's room. There Magnus reasoned that he was making muffins. Raven here seems to suspect something because he saw a strange tool that shouldn't be for making muffins. After the incident, they all dispersed. While Magnus, he continued his research to sabotage matches. He was tired of being in the number 2 position, and also had to always act as a good bear. He also intended to do a cunning way to win. In Ed's room, Eda says she believes it's Revent. Because of the fire incident earlier, he saw that it seemed that Revent had deliberately blackened Magnus. Ed told Eda to stay focused on the match because they also lacked evidence. If he had sufficient evidence, he promised to help Ada deal with this sabotage problem. Long story short, this third match began. In this match, Ada performed quite well. He also managed to get praise from Ed. While Ed seems to be getting used to working together as a team, he previously always did everything alone. Now he enjoyed the moment with Ada. When you want to get in position, first Ada is getting another trap, and placed himself in 3rd place. Revent is in the number 1 position. There Ada remained convinced that the culprit was Revent. He tried to check Revent's entire car in front of all the viewers. Because of his rash behavior, he was caught by Cindy as the host of the show and was told to meet her. On the other hand, the father seems a little disappointed that his daughter did not tell him anything about it. He also intends to follow his daughter to the Grand Prix game. He wanted to watch his daughter's game. Cindy also gave him punishment for his actions that humiliated Revent. Ed must start 1 minute later than the other participants. Ed and Ada eventually quarreled over the incident. Ada left because she was upset and met Bockley. He told Bockley about Ed. Bockley also explained that Ed used to be a cheerful and friendly child. He was an orphan, yet he lived happily with his friends there. They also have the same dream of becoming a famous racer. But all that changed when one by one they began to be adopted. His friends dwindled and his dreams grew smaller. That's where his life changed. He closes himself off from others. He does not want to rely on others anymore and put more expectations on others. He prefers to depend on himself. Buckley knew this because he was one of Ed's childhood friends. When they first met in the arena, Ed steered away from her. Buckley is constantly trying to improve their relationship, but unfortunately, until now, Ed still closed his heart from everyone. After Ada heard that, she went and smelled the same scent as the scent of gas that bothered her during the game. She followed the source of the scent and found it was in Magnus's room. He went in and saw everything, including all the evidence was there. After returning from there, he immediately told Ed, but he told Ada to just stop, because now his hand is healed, and now let him take over. Long story short, the last match began. Here, Ada was trying to remind Ed that the criminal was Magnus. It was just that Ed still didn't believe in Ada. Ada explained that if she knew she was wrong, she had accused Revent. Only this time, he was completely sure because he had seen all the evidence. Ed ignored Ada's explanation and continued with the match.
Excuse me. It's alright. Line me.
Finally, Ada came with Ro's fortune teller and his friend George. There, Ada apologized to his father for hiding everything. There, his father comforted him, and now his father will try to support his son's dream to become a racer. Ada explained everything to her father, and her father told Ada to save the other contestants. Because Ada knew Magnus had bad intentions in this match, Magnus wanted to beat all the contestants so that he could win first place. Ada went to the underground water channel where Magnus's drones were driving the contestants' cars. This drone is like a magnet, so it can affect the movement of their cars. Ada here showed Ed the proof. Ed immediately believed this, and Ada managed to knock out the drone intended for Ed's car, and he was trying to destroy the remaining drone. While Ed continues his match against Magnus,
Come on! Can't the bear?
in the end, in front of the finish line, Ed should be able to win this match. It was just that he chose to go to help Ada, who was in danger. Which in the end, Magnus also won the match. It was just that not long after, due to his own stupidity, all his crimes were exposed in front of many people. And full thanks to Ed, so did Ed. Because of Ada, Ed learned to work with a good team, and he began to open his heart again to others. He finally made up with Buckley. While Magnus was arrested, and the winner now goes to Revent, where he previously occupied the number 2 position. Revent knew that this piano didn't deserve him. The victory deserves to be given to Ada and also Ed, because they have good teamwork. Revent also apparently knew from the beginning that Ada was disguised as Ed, because Ada's racing style was similar to his father. Erwin is apparently a friend and has a good relationship with Revent. And there, Ada apologized for accusing him of being a criminal. They all had fun and were happy with their victory. And after that, the amusement park was running again, and his father Ada managed to pay off his debts. Ada was finally given the opportunity to be part of Ed and Buckley's racing team. So viewers, that was our video this time. Hope you guys liked the video. I'm going to withdraw. Happy nice dream and go.